Welcome to the Sentimental Twist,
where two generations share one love for meaningful spaces and gracious hospitality.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Melissa.
Let's gather around the table and talk I did it wrong.
All right. It's all right. All right. We'll start over.
Welcome to the Sentimental Twist,
where two generations share one love for. This is going to be a good blooper.
This is episode 5. We should be pros by now. Welcome to the Sentimental Twist,
where two generations share one love for meaningful spaces and gracious hospitality.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Melissa.
Let's gather around the table and talk home, hosting, and all things sentimental.
Yay!
Welcome, y'all.
Yeah, welcome to episode 5 of the Sentimental Twist podcast. I'm Melissa, and you can find me on Instagram at Home with a Twist. My website is homewithatwist.com, and on YouTube, where we both have our videos of the podcast, and my channel on YouTube is Home with a Twist. Brittany?
And I'm Brittany, and you can find me at Brittany Shepherd on Instagram. My website is thesentimentaldecorator.com, and my YouTube channel is Brittany Shepherd TSD for The Sentimental Decorator. So
how's your week been?
You're here.
Yeah, how's your week been?
Oh, wild. Fast. Summer for going back to school at this point. We're here in mid-July, and yeah, kids come back in a couple weeks. So
yeah,
it's insane.
And this afternoon you have, tell everybody what you're doing, because I don't know that you shared that before.
I'm having my first ever head spa treatment. A little treat to myself for meeting a goal. And my goal was to launch the sentimentaldecorator.com. And so I did that in March and scheduled my head spa as my reward. And so I'm very excited. It's sort of a new thing in our area. Several salons offer it, but it's just this really relaxing. You know how you love getting your hair washed when you go get it cut?
Wash your hair kind of thing. Yeah.
So it's just an extended version of that, and I think it's a Japanese style treatment, so it's very relaxing, and you know, I'm looking forward to it.
You're gonna come home feeling like Jello when you're done.
How's your week going?
My week's great. Yesterday we had the carpet cleaners come. I use Zero Res.
Okay.
I've used them for years, and they're always really, really good. But our stairs and our hallway, my office, and one and a chair I bought at an estate sale for $2 because it was 90% off day, and nobody wanted it because it had stains on it. And I always look at things and think, well, I'm going to reupholster it anyway. But in the meantime, I had it cleaned. So my house smells really fresh and clean. Great thing to do in the summer. Okay, so we're going to talk about heirloom recipes and kitchen stories. And this is where we share recipes we remember from our mothers and grandmothers. In a previous episode, Brittany mentioned that her grandmother, which grandmother was that?
My mom's mom.
And what was her name?
Ella.
Ella had a peach ice cream recipe. And today happens to be National Peach Ice Cream Day. But sadly, Brittany could not find her grandmother Ella's recipe for peach ice cream, but you do have a recipe you want to share.
Well, yeah, it's a peach recipe, and it's for those watching the recipe card, you can tell my mother used it quite a bit because it's washed and stained.
Cards.
And it's her sweet little kindergarten teacher handwriting.
Oh,
just precious. So peach cobbler, it's just their traditional peach cobbler recipe where you melt a stick of butter in a large casserole dish with a little bit of salt, or you could do salted butter, I guess. And then 3/4 cups flour, 1 cup sugar, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 3/4 cup milk, and mix all of that. Pour over the butter that's melted in the casserole dish, and then 2 large cans of peaches and the juice. Put it in the oven. Do not mix it. Bake it at 350 until browned.
So it's kind of like a dump cake.
A dump cake, yeah.
And so because this is a real controversial topic, the difference in how different regions of the country, what their definition of cobbler is.
Yeah, I don't know this is cobbler.
So, what kind of top does it make on it?
It's a very crusty
Okay.
breaded top.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
like the that
let's use the word breaded. So now I'm conflicted.
breaded. I mean, because it's flour and baking powder, so it's almost like cake mix, I guess. But um, it
Oh, now we've heard it. We've entered the controversy.
I don't know.
'Cause to me, cobbler is, well, there's a crisp, which is
Mhm.
like, crumbly, crispy, crunchy, cinnamony top. And then there's cobbler in Texas, and I don't know about Alabama, but cobbler has a pie crust top.
Okay. Yeah, no, we don't
So,
use a pie crust top,
for your cobbler, you use more like it bakes up and it's almost kind of like a cake on the
hmm
top.
but
Interesting.
browned and
Okay,
crispy.
well,
Yeah.
I'd be willing to try the recipe and weigh in on whether I like it. But a dump cake, definitely, I'm totally on for that.
Yeah, it's pretty much a dump cake without
Yeah.
a cake mix.
And did
So,
your mom make it just like whenever?
Sunday dessert after church, events and occasions,
So you didn't
but
get dessert every night after dinner.
no.
Okay, yeah,
We were
we
not at
did.
dessert all the time at night. We were not a regular weeknight dessert family.
Okay, my mom wasn't like June Cleaver, where every night it was my best friend Julie, her dad really kind of expected a dessert every
Mhm,
night kind of thing. So she
mhm,
was always making something. And I was really
mhm,
envious of that. My mom really tried to watch her waist and my
mhm.
dad's waist. So if we had a dessert during the week, it was Neapolitan ice cream.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
remember. That's
So
fun.
my mother used to make
Yeah.
peach fried pies. And unfortunately, I don't
Mm.
have the recipe. I only remember watching her make them because her dad, my grandpa, was a cook in a diner. So
Mm.
he taught her a lot of things that he did. And basically, she took that, I think they still make it. It's that pie crust mix in a box.
Yep.
I think it's Betty Crocker, maybe.
I think
I
I know
think
what
that came around to help women make it a little easier for them to be able to whip up something homemade.
hmm
So she would use that and then she would roll it out and then cut circles and then take peaches that she'd mixed with brown sugar and butter and then fill the pie crust and then take her fork, make the
Yeah.
little seal, and then she would deep fry it in probably usually Crisco, which is what
hmm
we used. And oh, I remember them coming right out of the deep fryer, and she'd always say, wait until they're cool because it'll burn your mouth. And then she'd sprinkle them with a little bit of either powdered sugar or cinnamon sugar.
That sounds amazing.
Oh, they were so good.
Delicious.
Yeah. Okay, so happy National Peach Ice Cream Day to
Mhm.
everyone out there.
Yes.
And I'm
For all
sure,
those who celebrate.
yeah, so if y'all have really good peach ice cream recipes, we'd love for you to share them or any comment you want to make. Maybe you want to weigh in on the controversy of cobbler versus a crisp and cobbler versus where you live in the country. We have an email address. It's the sentimental twist podcast at gmail.com. And I'm sure Brittany will share her mother's sweet little recipe for peach dump cake slash cobbler
Mhm.
in the show notes.
I will.
Okay.
All right, now it's time for sentimental decorating and meaningful spaces, which is, one of my favorite things to talk about. And this segment this week actually comes from a listener, Natalie. So, Natalie told us that she inherited her grandmother's china cabinet and feels like it's a little dated. So, she definitely wants to make it her own and use it in her home. And her grandmother has passed away, so she has freedom to do what she wants to with it. So, we're going to call it her legacy hutch. And what things can we suggest Natalie do to make it more for today? Her updated twist on her grandmother's china cabinet. What ideas do you have, Melissa?
Well, I am two things. If
Mhm.
let's see, so her grandmother's deceased, so it's fine to do whatever she wants with it. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, Depending on what kind of wood it is, if it's
Yeah.
wood that I like, I might just leave it unpainted. If it's wood that I don't really care for, like an orangey oak,
Orangey.
which I'm not a big fan of, then I might paint it. I love Annie Sloan chalk paint. It's one of my
hmm
favorite kind of paints because it's very forgiving and it's almost like it knows where to deposit the paint and where not to, and so it can kind of look kind of shabby chic. But and I know that a lot of spouses are very purist when it comes to painting wood. It's like big X.
Yeah. I'm not a huge painting wood fan unless it is like really bad wood.
Right. So in that case, I might just, and if you don't want to paint the inside, I might either take some foam board that I've painted and pop it in the back for a little
Mhm.
pop of color, or wallpaper.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. Some peel and stick
Yeah.
wallpaper.
And if it doesn't have lights at the top, you can buy
Mhm.
LED puck lights
I think that's a good idea too.
and put those in the top and without damaging the wood. And
Hmm.
then it can highlight what's in there. So those would be my two things: either paint it or do something to the back of it.
Yeah.
And so what are your ideas?
I was kind of thinking the same thing as it relates to the wood tones, kind of figure out if it's pretty wood in your eyes. If it's pretty in your eyes, keep it.
Right.
Um,
I
even
love
though
that.
I'm
Yeah.
even though I'm a little opposed to painting wood, if it is a really orange wood, I will probably paint it. But I was going to mention the wallpaper option as well, peel and stick, and it's kind of ironic that this question came around this time is because on my blog and newsletter, I do a sentimental spotlight each week, and sometimes it's my own story, but other times it's friends on Instagram that send a sentimental story in about a piece that they have. And so Kate, we've talked about Kate before.
Yeah, we love
Um,
Kate.
she recently allowed me to share the story of her grandmother's china cabinet that she got, and she did the peel and stick wallpaper in it. So I was going to speak to how Kate styled it for Natalie. If Natalie doesn't have a lot of china that she wants to store in the china cabinet and display in the china cabinet, Kate kind of made it a story cabinet, and each shelf and the different vignettes that she created in the shelves sort of told a story about different phases and different memories and her life and her young family's life, like beach trips. So she has a glass jar of shells that they've collected and a photo of them at the beach. Or she loves literature, and so there were some books, like some of her favorite books, in a section of family photos, and then some family mementos and small artifacts and things that she's displaying in there. So I think a china cabinet doesn't have to be for china. And so it could be a little mini library. I love the idea of lighting it and then
Neat idea.
putting books in it, putting cute, you could do those if the shelf height works, you could do some of those cute little rechargeable lamps
Yes.
in there. I think that would be really cute. Display photos in it. Create little vignettes on each shelf if you don't want to store china in it. So,
Yeah, another couple of great ideas on I love how you said repurpose it,
mm-hmm.
is I love to move stuff around in my house. And
Sonic rearranger.
a lot of people don't have room in their bathroom, but
Mm,
wouldn't it be great if you had a bigger bathroom to
yeah.
use the china cabinet in your bathroom and put your towels and
Mm-hmm.
make it very
Love that.
spa-ish?
Mm-hmm.
And depending on the doors, sometimes the doors on a china cabinet can make or break it. Like if
Mm-hmm.
it really makes it age to a point where you're like, you can always take the doors off
That's
and
true. Mm-hmm.
save them. Put them in a safe place. Don't get rid of them because
Mm-hmm.
you may want the doors back and have it be open. But another way is you could have it be your bar cabinet.
Oh yeah, I love that idea
Put
too.
all your glassware and if you can find a basket that kind of fit as a tray to put all your bottles of different liquors and things that you would make for a mixed drink. And if it has drawers, most china cabinets have at least one or two drawers. You
Mm-hmm.
could put your cocktail napkins in there or any of your jiggers or things that you need.
Yeah.
So I think thinking outside of the box is always a great way of repurposing something. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to also share someone else that shared a story with us.
Oh.
We have an Instagram page. If anyone's not aware, it's called the Sentimental Twist Podcast on Instagram. And we've been getting a lot of really great messages from people. And this one is from Janet Price. Janet, I think, might follow you on your
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Instagram. And her profile is The Simple Vintage Life.
Yes.
So give her a follow. And she also gave us such a great shout out on her Instagram
She was
in
a
her
sweetheart.
story. She said she worked really hard that day and made our listening to our podcast a treat. And I just thought that was so sweet. But she said because I posted a story that said, "What's the most sentimental piece in your home?" And tell us in the comments. We might share it on an episode. So here we are. She says, "I have so many. Just about every piece has a story, but probably my great grandmother's china cabinet.
Mm.
When I move, it's the one piece I will worry about. I most worry about. Luckily, the curved glass has survived." And I asked her, "Did you change it?" And she said, "It's been painted yellow since the '60s.
Hmm.
Yellow's actually coming back."
Oh yeah, butter yellow is the color of the season.
My mother's kitchen was butter yellow, and I, for a time at my one of my, I think the second house Mr. Twist and I lived in, I painted the kitchen yellow. She said, "I painted it red a few years ago, but Sunday I painted it pink."
Oh.
Yeah. So I said, "Be sure to send us a pic." And she said, "I need to clean the paint off the glass, and then I sure will." So that was from
Wait to see
Janet,
it.
and I love the fact that she painted it pink. I can't wait to see it.
Hmm.
So
She has a really cute vibe, so y'all follow her.
yeah, we love her. So
Mhm.
those are two really great women who are carrying on their legacy Hutches in
Mhm.
unique ways.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on now to gracious hosting and gracious hospitality. So I shared in last week's episode that I have Pantry Camp going on right now,
Hmm.
and in the workbook, and was for those of you who are just now tuning in, what Pantry Camp is, it's a digital course that I have that's self-paced. And if you're a subscriber to my emails, it's only $5. The cost of a grande latte from Starbucks,
Probably
basically.
less than the cost of a grande latte now.
Probably. It includes a video you can watch on your own. It includes a workbook of me walking you through all the steps for how to totally clear out your pantry, clean it, and start at ground zero and put everything back into different zones. I share the resources for things that you can purchase to organize your pantry, because keeping your pantry organized is makes it much easier for you to host.
Mm.
So in the workbook is a list of grocery items to have on hand for hosting, and we like to call it the hostess closet, what to keep stocked for last minute entertaining. So we both have dish pantries. If you're curious, go on to our Instagrams and see. Yours is a
She has
built.
a full dish room situation, closet situation. Mine's just a built-in.
Yeah, but yours built-ins are lovely.
Yes, I
And
think the fact that I call it a pantry might be a little misleading because you can't actually walk in it like you can pantries, but eh,
I don't
it's
know.
fine.
Does it have to be does a pantry have to be defined as being walked in? I don't know.
I don't know.
We have to Google that. But we both have dish designations.
Hmm.
And if y'all haven't seen Brittany's, you need to go look at it, because you had those built-ins put in.
I did.
Yeah, it wasn't
It's part of
original.
my kitchen renovation.
But what I love about your renovation choices is that it looks original to the house. You
Hmm.
did a really good job with that.
Thank you.
Mine is not as visual aesthetically pleasing from the outside. It is a true closet and my ladies' lounge that really just had stuff in it that I could part with. And I decided to sacrifice. I got lots of lovely feedback when I posted it on my Instagram, that people were kind of like, "Oh, this would be nice if I had, in quotes, a spare closet to give up." But my response to that was, it was a choice.
Hmm.
And it was a choice because, yes, it is real estate for storing items. But what really was in there that I desperately had to have? Nothing. I haven't missed it
Yeah.
since I got rid of it. I think we hold on to things that we don't really need.
Hmm.
So I chose to make mine into a pantry that has all of my entertaining needs, so that I can go to it and get everything I need to host a party. But this is more having a hostess um, food zone in your kitchen pantry of
Hmm.
things that you should always have on hand in case somebody says, "Hey, Brittany, I'm here from out of town. I'm just down the street." Or on Mondays when we're all rested and we feel great, we invite everybody over from the office. And then when Friday comes, we realize, "Oh, fudge. I invited all those people over. I'm tired. I don't know what to fix." So, what are some of your ideas and thoughts on having hostess food?
So I usually have a few things that I could pull out, and a lot of those are things that have been put up, like preserves. So one of my go-to things is going to always be crackers with cream cheese and pepper jelly.
Mm,
And so cream cheese, is not necessarily it's not in the pantry, but it has a pretty long shelf life in the
yeah.
fridge. And so I'll always have a block of cream cheese in the fridge, and then pepper jelly or some other kind of nice jam or preserve that you can top the cream cheese with, and then just a couple of boxes of entertaining crackers. Trader Joe's has like an entertaining mix of crackers in one box, and Target also does, and they're Good and Gather brand. And so those are really good. It's like the round wheat, the square, the rectangle, and then like a flax type version.
Yeah.
So crackers, cream cheese, and jelly, jam, pepper jelly, something like that. You can't go wrong. I usually have some dip mixes, but then again, you always have to have a little something to mix that in. But the thing that I always have is crackers and pepper jelly so that I can do cream cheese and pepper jelly.
Yeah, everybody loves that.
It's just so easy and delicious.
Yeah.
But another thing, this is not pantry, but I always have frozen ready to bake cookie dough in the freezer. So
And is it what is it? Is it like the tub or you always
it
have to roll in the freezer?
they're already pre
Oh, it's in the package and it's already like
one
pre-square.
serving. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I get those because I have two nephews and a niece that go to schools that are always fundraising. And so cookie dough fundraiser is one of the annual fundraisers, so I always stock up. And they're the individual servings of cookies frozen.
Yeah.
So you can just take 3 or 4 out at a time and bake those. So that's not pantry, but it's still something I always have on hand for entertaining.
Yeah. What I like to do when I make cookie dough, in fact, I just did it the other day. I like to make chocolate chip cookies, but I'm kind of like, I only like the chocolate. I'll only eat them if they're warm or the
Mm,
first day. I don't really like to eat them like 2 or 3 days afterward because they don't taste as fresh. Now,
mhm,
Mr. Twist would eat them if they were hard as a rock. But what I like to do is I'll make just enough for us to enjoy, and
mhm,
then I will portion them out on a cookie sheet and freeze them. Then
mhm.
once they're solid, I'll put them into a Ziploc bag and
That's
I'll
good.
put those in the freezer. And then whenever I just have the hankering for a cookie, I can take out a couple and freeze them. Okay, so you
So you
stole
do.
one of my ideas
Oh,
for
sorry.
that's all right. Was pepper jelly, which Mr. Twist has really gotten. He's when he finds a new hobby, he gets kind of a little obsessive about
Mhm.
it. Right now, his hobby is canning,
All right.
so he just made habanero mango jelly
Mm. Mm.
with our peppers from our garden. So
Yum.
that would definitely be something I would put on cream cheese.
Mhm.
I usually always have cream cheese
Yep.
on hand, but I like goat cheese too.
Okay.
Goat cheese is good. Um,
Like a blueberry.
Olives,
Mhm.
and a good place to get olives that are not very expensive is either Aldi or Trader Joe's.
Mhm.
Um, Pita chips, they have a
Yep.
long shelf life, and hummus are good. And the cans of French bread that Pillsbury makes,
Mhm.
those are good for just like if you're going to mix. When you used to go to, what's the name of that restaurant where they would always put the olive oil in the seasoning?
Um, Carrabba's
Yes,
or the macaroni grill, maybe?
Macaroni Grill. Yes,
Mhm.
used to be a macaroni grill near us and it closed probably a couple of years ago. But you can make those loaves of homemade bread and then I score the top and put a little bit of olive oil and Italian seasoning on the top of them and bake them. Plus, it makes your house smell amazing.
Mhm.
Then
Mhm.
you can slice that, and that could be either for the goat cheese, the jelly, or the cheese or hummus or
Or
whatever.
even just do the olive oil and
Yeah,
seasonings.
seasoning, and that's it.
Mhm.
Okay, here's the last one.
Okay.
Everybody loves popcorn.
Oh yeah, I have popcorn always too.
Yeah, and I don't like to use the popcorn that you put in the microwave because it just the preservatives and it just doesn't taste very good. So I always buy just dry popcorn in the bag,
Mhm.
keep it in a jar in my pantry. Trader Joe's makes a ranch dressing seasoning.
Yep.
So I will make the popcorn and then sprinkle it with the ranch dressing seasoning. It is
Mm.
so good. And if you want to be
Might
real
do that.
bougie, you could sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese.
Mhm.
And then just set that out. Makes your house smell amazing. People love popcorn. So that would
People
be,
love ranch.
and everybody loves ranch. And then the other thing I would add is my Spotify playlist that's on
Mm.
Spotify called Mrs. Twist's, or I think it might be Home with a Twist Porch Party. It has a nice blend of sentimental music,
Mm.
some nostalgic, some Henry Mancini, Burt Bacharach, but it also has some popular cocktail tunes on it. So you
It's
can
fun.
find that on Spotify, and we'll link that into the show notes, plus all of our ideas on how to have a hostess closet, what to keep
Mhm.
stock for last minute entertaining.
Yeah. Love those ideas.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to move on now. Listener submissions. What you thinking, sugar? So we got. This is where y'all write in with what's on your mind, and we pull up a chair and we talk about it.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm going to read a letter from our sweet listener, Luz, Luz. And Brittany, I want you to chime in on Luz.
I haven't heard it yet.
Okay.
Excited.
Hello, Melissa and Brittany. I have listened to your first episode twice today. Congratulations to you both. You are a remarkable team. I enjoyed the musings about the tablecloth riddy, as well as how Melissa spoke about her mom always was calm while hosting. A beautiful quality to have. I need help there.
Mhm.
In all the years I've hosted, I still become very nervous about 35 minutes prior to my guests arriving. For me, that would be a good episode. Learn to host with calmness.
Okay.
Also, perhaps on hosting on a budget. I have shared with Melissa how I'm single again via divorce at age 58. I have downsized to a cottage home and everything is smaller, the dining area and the bank account.
Mm.
I've learned to become savvy with budget-friendly meals. Ladies, I look forward to all your upcoming episodes. Thanks for all you do. I cheer you on. I keep you in prayer. What you do is a beautiful thing. The forgotten treasure of hosting and kindness. Blessings, Luz.
That's so sweet.
Isn't that sweet? So I thought maybe you could share some of your advice.
Mm.
Two things on how Luz could maybe not be so nervous
Mhm.
before people come. And what is something that we could do regarding her question for budget-friendly meals?
Mhm. And I don't know if she's directly talking about budget friendly for entertaining.
Yes.
Okay.
Because she likes to have friends over,
Right.
but her bank account is not as grand as it used to be when she was married.
I get that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me first about just being the calmness. I honestly think it's just a mindset you have to go into it with is what will be will be. It will be fun. We're going to have a great time. I don't have to worry. My friends are not judging me because they're there because they love you and they want to spend time with you, not because you're a perfect hostess. And I think we spoke to this an episode or two ago about hosting with intention and not perfection. And it's just a mindset I think you have like this is just for fun. It's not formal. It's not something I'm being judged on or measured on. There's no rubric here, as you can tell I work in education. But just a mindset shift that this is just a way that you can share your love and your friendship with your friends, and that's all that they are expecting
Yeah.
is time with you. And then, as far as easy meals to entertain with, you can never go wrong with making a pasta bake, and they're inexpensive. You can even do meatless with a nice jar of sauce. Throw in some spinach, some pasta, top it with some cheese, put it in the oven, bake it till that cheese is a little bit browning and it's bubbly. Get a bag salad and a frozen garlic bread, and you're good to go. And you could probably do that in less than $15 or so.
Yeah.
That's something that I do a lot. Or I'm trying to think of another one, barbecue sandwiches and buy the already like the Jim Beam barbecue from Sam's Club. It's already cooked and you just have to warm it and get your buns, baked beans, chips.
I've never had that before.
It's good from
Is
Sam's Club.
it? No, we
Mm-hmm.
don't have a Sam's membership. We only have
Oh,
Costco.
yeah.
I mean, doesn't cost much to get a
It's
membership.
and it's probably available at other places than Sam's, but that's just where I know you can get a larger portion of it. I want to say it's probably 2 pounds for $10.
Oh, wow.
And don't quote
Okay.
me on that. I didn't look it up.
Well,
So,
the other thing too is that I I think that everyone suffers from the perfectionism,
hmm
and fear is the number one thing that stops us from doing anything. Fear I won't be successful, fear I'll fail.
Mm-hmm.
Fear people are going to think something of me. But Lou sounds like the kind of person that just naturally attracts loving, kind
Mm-hmm.
people who
Yeah.
are not there to judge. And
Right.
so I would, if I were in that position, and I have before, whenever I'm anxious about something, is I'll often stop and ask myself, what am I afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
And if you can verbalize what it is that you're afraid of, a lot of times you can go, well, that's not even something that I have any control over,
Mm-hmm.
or that's not even a real fear. I'm
Or it
making
really
it
doesn't
into a
matter
real fear.
anyway.
Doesn't
You
matter
know?
anyway. And
Mm-hmm.
if I'm worried about whether people are going to have a good time, then maybe those are just not the people that I should be inviting to my house.
Good point.
So now, Lou's obviously is a prayerful person, as you and
Mm-hmm.
I are. A lot of times, if I have some anxiety about something, is I will stop and take a breath, and I
Mm-hmm.
will ask God to say, or I'll say to God, "Can you just take what's really weighing heavy on me and take my anxiety and replace it with your peace?" I just feel a whole lot better after that.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of entertaining on a budget, here's a real easy way to not spend a lot of money is you ask everybody to bring something.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
I mean, some of the best meals are potlucks because you
Oh
have
yes.
no idea what you're going to get. And we always
Mm-hmm.
worry it's going to be all dessert. And A, if that happens, I'm not going to complain.
Nope.
But B, I don't know how it happens, but it always works out. It's
Yes.
crazy to me.
And even like potluck party food, like potluck
Yes.
appetizer meal dinners, I mean, my best friends and I, when we plan to do a potluck, a lot of times we're just like bring a party dish. And that sometimes is the best because it's more casual
Yeah.
as well. So yeah, I love that. I didn't think about that. That's a
And
good
you could
idea.
have different themes. You could say, bring your favorite breakfast food. Everybody wear pajamas because we're going to watch movies or we're going to do each other's hair and eat cookie dough. You could do bring your favorite, binge food, like you talked about last week about how chips and salsa, or when was that? I don't
I
know
don't
what
remember.
episode
Chips
that
and salsa.
was. But,
First episode.
bring one of your favorite binge foods, no judgment free, it's a judgment free zone. So,
Mm-hmm.
or bring your favorite thing for a charcuterie board and you make one big charcuterie board.
Yes. We've done
So
that.
that is one way that you can get out of always having this. You don't have to do that every single time because I think some people do like to have a home cooked meal.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet you Luz is probably a great cook. But um and some of the best parties are in small spaces.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I much prefer 3 to 4 people than 10 to 12 or
And
more
where do we all end up?
in the kitchen.
In the kitchen. So don't worry if you don't have a big house anymore. Nobody cares.
Nobody
They're
cares.
all leaving whatever they've got going on at home because
Mm-hmm.
they just want to be with you.
Mm-hmm.
So those are our tips for Luz. We're so appreciative that she sent us that email. Hopefully she listens to this episode and it gives her some comfort to know that we're her biggest cheerleaders as well.
Yes, we
So
are.
thank you. And if y'all have quandaries, conundrums, questions, need ideas, send us an email at the sentimentaltwistpodcast@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's your turn,
Ready?
Brittany. Yeah.
It's my turn. This is my favorite segment.
I know it is. You love
I
this.
just love it because we don't talk about it beforehand, and I love to see what we bring to the table
Yeah.
individually and how
How
totally
they're so
unrelated they can be. Yeah. Okay, so it's Blessed We Had to Share, where we share something that we love, that we've tried, that we've heard, that we couldn't keep from you. And it's just a wide open segment where we can just kind of tell you anything that we think you need to know. And so I'm going to share about one of my favorite Instagram sellers that sells vintage, and it's my sweet friend Sarah at Laurel and Collective.
oh,
Laurel
I'm gonna have
and
to pull that up.
Collective.
Okay.
She is actually from the town that I live in, but we've never met in real life, and she lives near Auburn, Alabama. But we have so many things in common. We both lost our mothers about the same time. We're about the same age. We both love vintage. We both get a lot of our style and our um, personalities and thoughts from our moms. And Laurel Ann, I believe Laurel was her mom and Ann is her mother-in-law. So, um,
Oh,
but she has great items, vintage items. I love to watch when she's sourcing and finding things and traveling all around the Southeast, finding good things for her live sales that she has on Thursday nights. And so, since today's Thursday, it's 7 p.m. Central Time. She hops on a live and has a live sale with her new finds for the week. But she's a great vintage source if you're looking for some fun vintage items.
I'm looking through her Instagram account right now, and I've actually been looking for a pair of wall sconce shelves.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got some. Now, if somebody's listening to this and snaps these up because I told you about it, I'm going to really be upset. But she's got them priced very
Yes.
nicely. And I'm getting ready to embark on finishing my ladies' lounge with a huge wall gallery. And I've been looking for some wall sconces because I don't know if y'all have ever looked. Do you get the Ballard catalog?
Of course, it's my inspiration. I have a few
Yes.
Ballard things, but
I can't afford Ballard.
only clearance.
Yes, but I like to look at how they've styled things, and magazines are a great way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Magazines, catalogs. I can't afford Serena and Lily either, but I love how they have everything laid out. And so in the Ballard catalog is sprinkled wall sconces.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, I grew up with those. And of course, I don't have them anymore. And they were made out of, I don't think they were made out of, maybe they were made out of wood, but I want to say they were made of like resin or something. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, and you know there was that Home Co. company
Yeah.
um that did a lot of the gold wall
Ornaments.
sconces, but it was more plastic and resin.
Yeah. And they had theirs with cute little bud vases,
Yes.
with like herbs and little posies from your garden. And so
Yeah.
I've been thinking, ooh, I want a pair of sconces. So now thank you for telling me about Laurel and Collective.
Collective.
She's
Yeah.
got a pair that I think I may just score as soon as we're finished with this podcast. Okay, so my thing is I have readers now.
They're really cute.
So in previous episodes, if y'all watch this on YouTube, I would have on, let me clean these. I would have on just my regular distance glasses that I have to have for things like driving and watching TV. And
Hmm.
I've had, so I guess that's called a nearsighted, right?
I think.
I think if you're nearsighted, you don't need readers. Okay, so I was constantly doing this
Taking it on and off.
because I would need to read what I had and I would want to be able to see you, but you were blurry. So I thought, I was in the CVS a couple months ago before my eye exam, and I put on a pair of readers, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really what in the world have I been trying to do? Like, you're on your phone.
Hmm.
So I had the ophthalmologist give me whatever you do, figure out what your reader thing is. So I I first noticed that I had a problem because I volunteer at the hospital on Fridays, and I could not for the life of me read the patient stickers to call the patient's names. And I'd have to ask the unit secretary, what is this person's name? So I got some readers, and so I was just using them for that. And then I started noticing that my eyes were hurting.
Yes.
I've never had eye strain before. It almost feels like you're getting a sty in your eye. I guess that's that kind of how it feels. Your eyeballs hurt. So I thought, why in the
And dry.
world? And I thought, duh, hello. You're on your phone and you're not using your readers. What is your problem? So anyway, readers, highly recommend it. You can get them in the pharmacy, drugstore, Target, whatever, or you can buy them peepers. But my ophthalmologist told me since I have an astigmatism, I need a little bit different kind of reader. So I don't know if that was true or not.
I'm wearing blue light blockers today. They do have slight magnification. Because I work a lot well, I don't always work on the computer, but there are some days where I'm just on the computer all the time and my eyes will be so fatigued and dry. And this morning I did some work on the computer, and so I was like, well, I'm gonna wear my
So what do
blue
your
light.
eyes feel like when they're fatigued?
Mine get very dry. It's like that sty feeling, like
It
that
does. Okay, like you feel like something's like in
pressure.
there.
Hmm.
Yes. It like you touch it and you're like, am I getting a sty? Like what's
Yes.
happening? So that's strain. I've never
Hmm.
had eye strain before. Well, as soon as I started using the readers,
It's better.
it went away.
And screens are just making it work. Like, I'm only
Ah.
40 and I feel like, you know,
Well, you know what? I was 40 when I
uh,
noticed that my vision changed.
oh yeah, mine has definitely
And
changed.
I don't know what it is about that age 40, but it's like the day you turn 40, you all of a sudden you need to go to the eye doctor. So anyway,
Yes.
my blessed I had to share it are the beauty of readers, the miracle of readers. So
And if you think you might need them, give them a try because they could make the world of difference for
they
you.
could, and you can get them cheap in the grocery store.
And even on Amazon.
Yeah, and for the longest time, I wished that Peepers sold prescription
Mm.
distance glasses. But now that I need readers, now I can be part of the Peepers Club because they're, if you go to peepers.com, they have that's Oprah's favorite place to get
Mhm.
readers. But anyway,
Did you just love Oprah's favorite things? When she would,
always.
like the show, the Oprah's favorite things?
Yes.
I have a fun story about that. This is a tangent, sorry y'all, but this is what y'all like. This is when we just talk
Yeah.
about life. So, Mama and I, that was one of our things because she worked as a teacher. She was home by the time Oprah came on, and I was home, if I wasn't doing some
That
sort
was
of
y'all's treat
extra.
when we would get home.
And we would watch it, but we'd always make a point to watch the favorite things episode
Yes.
together if we could make it work. And I always tried to get her to like tell me what my Christmas presents were. And I was one of those that would like try to find her list and cheat and find out what it was ahead of time.
Oh,
But we had just watched the favorite things episode. And so the next couple of days, I don't know, I guess we were going shopping for Christmas. And I said, tell me one of my Christmas presents. She's like, no, I'm not going to tell you one of your Christmas presents, but I'll give you a hint. It's one of Oprah's favorite things. And I said, t-shirt sheets. And she was like, oh, how did you guess? And so I remember getting those hot pink t-shirt sheets.
big t-shirt sheets. Do you still have them?
Probably not. I do still have the flat sheet. It's a paint sheet for me.
Okay. And then were they just like heavenly?
Thought they felt like a good worn-in t-shirt.
Oh,
Yeah.
were they hot though?
Yeah, I
Okay,
couldn't sleep in
yeah.
them now. Not at all.
No.
No. I'm too hot-natured at night, so.
Yeah, especially when you start hitting menopause. Girl, get those t-shirt sheets away from me. You're gonna
Yeah,
need some
they're
of
not
those
close
quince.
enough.
You're gonna need some of those quince sheets that you.
I do the quince bamboo,
Yeah.
man. I'm telling y'all, they are so good. They almost feel cold to me. Like,
Oh, I love getting in cold sheets.
and of course they warm up with your body heat, but
Sure.
when
Yeah.
you move or
To
flip over,
to a
like,
cool place on your sheets. I swear I turn my AC down to 68 at night and I'm cold when I get into bed, but then I just, I
Mhm.
warm up and my cats get on top of me. So, okay.
Okay.
So, all right. So, I guess we're moving on now to porch
Yes.
talk. The
Another
speed
fun round.
round, another one. Okay. This is where we do a speed round and we fire quick questions, same questions to each other. And we share even quicker answers, and it kind of lets you get a peek behind the screen door of who we really are. Okay. So I'm going to go first. I'm going to ask Brittany,
Okay.
what's the first recipe you learned to make?
I thought of three things: spaghetti sauce, chili, and breakfast casserole. And the breakfast casserole is probably actually the first thing because it's our Christmas morning meal. And I started helping make it when I was pretty young, and then it became my responsibility by the time I was 10 to make it on Christmas Eve so that it'd be ready to go on Christmas morning. And I still make it to this day. I spend Christmas with my brother and his family. So I'll make it on Christmas Eve, and then I wake up there with them, see what Santa Claus brought my nephews and niece, and then we have breakfast casserole. So,
We have breakfast casserole for Christmas morning too. So when we come back in the fall after our hiatus in September,
hmm
we'll have to definitely share our breakfast casserole recipes. I'm curious to see if they're the same.
I know.
Mine actually came from a really dear friend, Christy. Her mother-in-law would make it, and I had it one time, and it was so good. And what I love about the recipe, and I know Christy won't mind me sharing this, is that my friend Christy has stage 4 colon cancer, and she's
Mm.
on hospice.
Mm.
And the recipe is in her handwriting on a hot pink note that says from the desk of Christy Burdett.
Oh.
And so every time I make it, and when Phoebe was little, she would say, "Are we going to make Mrs. Burdett's Christmas casserole?" Like,
Hmm.
yes, honey, we are. So now it's like no negotiation. We cannot have Christmas without the breakfast casserole. So
I love
thank
that.
you to Christy. Christy will say, "Well, it's not mine. It's my mother-in-law's, but still, it came from her." So, okay, early bird or night owl? I know the answer to this.
Early bird with
Yeah,
coffee.
with coffee. Okay,
Hmm.
because you get
I
up at like
love,
5:15.
yeah, or sometimes earlier. So I
Oh,
have to be at work at 7. And so I would probably sleep in a little bit more if I had to be at work at 8, but I need a slow morning. I love a slow morning. So my alarm goes off at 4:45.
oh,
But I usually like snooze until 5:15. My coffee's already made. It's on a timer. I get up, I feed the dogs, I get my coffee. We go sit in the sunroom right now and watch the day dawn, and I read, have a little devotion, journal if I'm feeling like journaling, work on some Instagram stuff before I go to work. I write a little bit on the side, as I'm a writer. So I write for a local magazine and do some writing for some interior designers. And so I'll do some of that. And then about 20 minutes before I need to be at work, I get up and I go wash my face, put on my makeup, put on my clothes, and I'm out the door.
minutes. You really do just milk all of that time.
I do. I love a slow morning. And I will have 2 cups of coffee. I do drink half calf because my kidney doctors would be mad at me if I drank 2 cups of fully caffeinated coffee.
Yeah.
But yeah, I shower and do all of that stuff at night so that my morning can just be
Oh,
what I
I
want it
saw
to be.
something recently. Somebody shared it with me on Instagram. Let me see if I can find it. And it was along the lines of what you're talking about. Okay, all right. So this is what this person sent me. In a culture that tells us to wait for weekends, vacations, retirement, or some day to really live, choosing to make today beautiful is an act of defiance. It's refusing to believe that joy is reserved for special occasions or that pleasure requires permission. It's understanding that life isn't happening to you while you wait for good parts. Life is happening right now in the breath, in this moment, in this ordinary day that will never come again. The most
Mm,
luxurious things you can do and give yourself is time.
mm,
Time to truly taste your food instead of eating while distracted. Time to feel the water temperature when you wash your hands. Time to notice how the light changes throughout the day. Time to
mm,
have conversations without checking your phone. Slowing down in a world obsessed with speed is an ultimate luxury. Being fully present in a culture of constant distraction is the
mm,
greatest gift you can give yourself. Your life is made up of approximately 25,000 days, if you're fortunate. Most of those days will be ordinary, filled with routine tasks, familiar faces, and predictable rhythms. You can spend these days waiting for something extraordinary to happen, or you can learn the alchemy of making the ordinary extraordinary. And he goes on and on and on. This is from the Vex King, Vexking. But the little thing he says is turn your shower into a spa, your breakfast into a tasting experience, and your bedtime into a retreat. The
mm.
ordinary becomes extraordinary with intention, and that's what you've done.
I love a ritual.
You have made
And
that
I just,
morning time
yeah.
like a beautiful experience.
Hmm.
Sitting with your dogs, watching the day start. I mean,
Hmm.
the smell of the coffee, the taste of that first
Hmm.
sip.
Mm.
And I think
The
more of us
best.
could really learn from your morning routine.
I have a lot of I do have the luxury of living alone, but I do have a lot of what I call rituals, and they're rituals that bring me joy. And one of those is that morning ritual. I have a coming home ritual.
Ooh, tell me
Um,
about that.
oh, okay.
Okay.
We're getting way off topic, but that's
That's
okay.
okay.
So coming home, after a long day at work, especially these 10-hour days that we're working in the summer, I need to sort of chill out before feeling like I need to tackle any chores or anything around the house. So typically, my coming home routine is I will greet the dogs and take them out. I'll pour something into a pretty glass. It may be a LaCroix. It may be a glass of wine if I need one. If it's cold, I might make some hot tea. And then I just sit somewhere for a while with the dogs, play with them a little bit because they've been cooped up all day. Then I get up. I put on soft clothes,
Oh yeah. Of course,
light some
the
candles.
bras already come off though, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. As soon as you walk in the
Sometimes the
door.
soft clothes happen before the drink. It just kind of depends on what time of year it is if I want to go outside. So if it's this time of year, I might go out and water my plants while I'm drinking my pretty cold beverage in a pretty glass. But I just take about 30 minutes to not do any chores. Like watering the plants doesn't feel like a chore to me because I really enjoy that, except for when it's starting to get so hot right now. It does become a chore.
You
But so every afternoon, my coming home ritual is, playing with my dogs, changing into something that's comfortable, having a moment to breathe and do something that I enjoy, and that's usually accompanied with a nice something to drink. I love a sparkling water. I go ahead and sort of get my things ready for my evening routine. So when I lay out my pajamas, get my stuff ready for my shower. But then I cook myself some dinner, feed the dogs, sit at the table to eat. Not always, but most of the time. And then I kind of move into doing any little chores and tasks I need to prep for the next day.
Yeah.
Then I take a shower and then I sit around for a little while and read or scroll on Instagram and respond to comments. But my coming home is just like I make sure I have about 30 to 45 minutes that I do some of those things that I enjoy before I need to like jump into doing activity for the house or the next day. So
Go to bed.
I'm usually asleep by 10,
Yeah.
9:30,
That
10.
makes sense because you have to get up so early, or you
Mm-hmm.
choose to get up so early. You don't
I do.
have to do anything. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Next question. Church potluck go-to dish.
I will bring a squash casserole most of the time.
Ooh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. My
Okay.
mom's recipe, or maybe my grandma's, is just the one we've always cooked. And it's usually a hit. Like, it's a good
Is it the
dish.
one that kind of has the breadcrumbs on the top of it?
We use Ritz crackers
Oh, yes. There's nothing better than a Ritz cracker topping.
with butter, and so they brown a little bit.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
are
You
you
ready?
ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. What's the first recipe you learned to make?
I don't know for sure, but I would have to guess that it would be my mother's chocolate cake recipe, which was not hers. It was called Elizabeth Doyle's chocolate cake. And I always thought Elizabeth Doyle was like a friend of my mother's. And it wasn't until I was probably a grown woman that I asked her one day, "Tell me about your friendship with Elizabeth Doyle." And she said, "Well, honey, I don't have any idea who that woman is. It's just that was the name of the recipe." So I have Googled it, and the only time that will come up is if Elizabeth Doyle's chocolate cake will come up on my website. But there is no
I have no idea who
no
Elizabeth
idea who
Doyle is.
Elizabeth Doyle is. So just the other day, I
Love
messaged
that.
a friend that I've known since middle school, and her mother still attends the same church that my parents attended. Because I'm trying to track down if there's anyone out there that has a Meadowbrook United Methodist church cookbook from the 60s through the 70s. I need a copy because it
Mm.
probably has my mother's recipes in it
Mm.
and some of her friends, and perhaps we can find Elizabeth Doyle if that really is a real person.
I was looking at a church cookbook for this morning to try to find Granny's peach ice cream
And it
recipe.
wasn't in
So
there.
it wasn't in there.
So it would be,
All right.
and it's your typical chocolate cake that where you heat the butter on the stove in the saucepan
Mm-hmm.
with the buttermilk, and then you mix it with flour, sugar, salt, and it kind of makes like that real dense chocolate sheath cake. That's what the
Yeah.
recipe is. So
All right. That sounds delicious.
yeah,
Are you ready for question two?
yes.
Okay, early bird or night owl, with coffee or without?
Okay, I'm not an early bird, and that's because I'm retired, so I don't have to be. And even when I was working, I didn't have to be at work until like 8:30 or 9.
Mm.
And when I wasn't trying to get a child up and ready, I would get out of bed at 7. So I was getting out of bed about the time you were getting to work. Now that I don't have to get up, um, I go to bed around 11 or 11:30. And it depends on, I think in the summer I tend to get up earlier, like between 8:30 and 9,
The
because
sun.
it's lighter earlier.
Mhm.
It's hot out. I need to get outside and water or garden or weed.
Before it's
But I tell you, when winter comes, it is hard to get out of bed because it's still dark and it's
yeah. Oh, I
cold.
know.
And so sometimes I'm getting out of bed at 10, 10:30, 11
Mhm.
even. But always I start my day with coffee.
Yeah.
Just one
No matter
cup.
what time it
I
is.
just drink one cup and I like it with, I put 2 scoops of Metamucil in my coffee to get my
Yeah.
fiber in, a little bit of stevia, little, just a splash of half and half, and then vanilla cold foam.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Okay.
All right. Church potluck go-to dish.
I don't like to take dishes to potlucks. I like to eat the
I do too.
potluck.
Me too.
So I can't tell you what recipe I would make because it's probably would be a bundt cake, maybe a
Mhm.
dessert. But I just love to go to potlucks and have like the jello salads,
Mhm.
the pasta salads, the ramen salads,
Ooh, I love a ramen salad.
or if somebody brings macaroni and cheese.
Mhm. You know it's gonna be good.
Yeah. But here's the funny thing, as I've gotten older and I'm I'm more aware that certain people's kitchens are maybe not as clean as mine. It bothers me a little bit.
Yeah, I get
I
that.
hate to be a buzzkill, but
And really, the only potlucks I go to are places like the little church that I grew up in, and I trust those ladies with my life.
yeah, but
So,
I don't know.
mhm.
I don't know.
And they've stopped doing as much potluck, and now they'll like order the fried chicken from somewhere,
There
and
you
they
go.
bring sides and
Right.
things to make it a little bit easier. But yeah, I'm with you. And I don't do buffets anymore at all.
No, no. Ugh.
Um,
There used to be this Chinese buffet that Phoebe would love to go to when she was little, and we would appease her by going, but finally I could put the kibosh on it because I was just like, Mr. Twist, we are one toe from getting food poisoning. I watched people one time, like, I mean, it's disgusting.
mm,
Thank God, I think a lot of buffets have gone by the wayside after COVID. Why it took a deadly disease for people to
no,
realize that you needed
this is
sneeze
not
guards.
sanitary.
Anywho, okay. All right.
It is time for our final segment that we close every show with, a toast to sentiment. And it's my week to share this week, and I'm going to be a little bit sappy, hopefully not sad,
Love sap.
but but it's a little sad too because my mom's 65th birthday was July 12th.
Oh,
So the Saturday before this episode airs. And it's just always a time that is hard for me because it's in the summer and we would almost always find a way to be at the beach or doing something outside water fun related. But I'm so grateful for the 33 years that I had her, um, and all that she taught me and made me and gave me. And I see the goodness of God in all of the things that happened with her breast cancer and the timing and all of those things. So I just wanted to honor her today as mom, as friend, as sister, as daughter, as wife, as Fancy is what her grandma name is because she was a kindergarten teacher for 30 years and loved Fancy Nancy books. And so when we were trying, she would always dress up as Fancy Nancy for the, Dr. Seuss week. And so Fancy became her grandmother name when she only had grand dogs. And so now the kids know Fancy, even though they never met Fancy. She passed away 5 or 6 days before my first nephew was born. We say Earthside, they haven't met, but we feel like she met him first.
oh, absolutely. My mother used to say that's called when you were hanging up stars.
Oh yeah.
So they did meet.
hmm And he's had a dream about her and be like, I dreamed about Fancy last night. It's just sweet little things. When he was like 2, he said that.
Wow.
So I wanted this week's toast to sentiment to honor my mom, but also to all mothers. And if you still have yours, call her up, take her to lunch, go shopping, and make sure you eat dessert today. So,
I love that.
cheers.
Cheers.
Well, y'all, thank you.
I love that.
That's all for today's episode.
We want to make sure that you find us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, any of the places that you hope. Maybe you have been following us since the first episode. Maybe you just stumbled across us today when you were out for a walk. But if you could just click the little follow button on your podcast channel, leave us a review, share with a friend who loves meaningful spaces, and be sure to follow Brittany and me on Instagram at Home with a Twist and Brittany Shepherd. Follow our Instagram podcast channel, which is the Sentimental Podcast on Instagram. And then also email us your stories.
Tell us your stories.
Things that you want us to know about, even if it's not a question, you just want to share a memory with us. Comment, whatever. It just brightens our day. We had, we found out we were number 22. I think it was 22 on of all the podcasts on Apple, of all the
Home and Garden
podcasts. And I texted Brittany and I just was like, I'm just so grateful that we found each other and that we're able to share our stories. And this has just been great. So we're just so happy to have you here, and we appreciate you being with us for this episode. So thanks for joining us on the Sentimental Twist,
where we believe every space tells a story,
and every story deserves a place at the table. Until next time,
keep things cozy, collected, and a little bit sentimental.
Bye
y'all. See you next week.